So the Black Ops ports released a few days ago and there have been some big issues with them. Now there have been some good fixes as well, but there has been a huge XP exploit on the Black Ops 1 game. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you a full update, everything that has changed, everything that is still broken, and whether I've actually changed my mind since my last video. So let's start with the news. Call of Duty Updates, the official patch notes account, dropped 2 fixes. The season pass owners can now matchmake with non-owners, and the PS4 and PS5 players are now matchmaking together. And those 2 things are just huge for the community. And let me be real with you about why that matters. I genuinely thought that these ports would get shipped and then abandoned. But fixing 2 real things this fast tells me that someone's actually watching what the community is saying. And if Activision see that this game has got proper retention, not just the launch sales, but people playing this game days and weeks later, that is the kind of data that gets us more ports down the line. Now, one quick thing worth clearing up, because there is a lot of confusion on this. It turns out that crossplay between PS4 and PS5 has actually been enabled from the start. It was just kind of buggy. So if you were on the PS5 and couldn't invite your mates on a PS4, that wasn't by design, that was just a bug that was getting ironed out. So it's good to know that it was never meant to be split in the first place. Now here's one that is a real problem and needs sorting out. When people back out mid-match, the lobby doesn't autofill. You can't even invite randoms to a session, you can't invite your friends. So what happens is you're in a great 6v6 match and people slowly start backing out and you end up finishing the game with 4v4 or even worse, 2v2. Now the season pass fix and the PS5 to PS4 fix were brilliant, but this one is still sat there, and if it doesn't get sorted, good lobbies are just going to keep quietly dying instead of staying full. So Iron Galaxy, if you're watching this is the next part that needs fixing. But also, well done so far. Now, on to the big news. There is a huge XP exploit that is going around on Black Ops 1, specifically on the PS4. Basically, people are loading up a modified file onto their console and using it to farm XP by blowing themselves up with grenades over and over, which means that they are jumping straight to their next prestige without earning a single kill, and it's kind of annoying. But also, not just being annoying, it actually breaks other people's accounts. Now, some people are getting into these matches and coming out the other side with their XP in the negative. They are unable to even queue for a match because the game doesn't even recognize that they are a level 1 anymore. Now, remember in my first video on these ports, I said the removal of theater mode might close the main doors these hackers used to get into. Now that part still holds up because these exploits are tied to loading in a file through their PS4. Most likely it's on a jailbroken console as well. So it's not some universal crack of the new servers. So it's not quite the same nightmare as the PS3 era, but it is the proof that exploits are still finding a way in just 3 or 4 days after launch. Here's the actual hopeful bit though, because these ports are properly patched. They are updated versions of the game, not just the original untouched copies. There is a real path for Treyarch and Iron Galaxy to go in and fix this. Now that is different to what happened with the Xbox backwards compatible versions, which basically got left to rot for years with zero support. But if they treat these ports the same way they treated the matchmaking fixes, quick and decisive, this could be patched out very quick. But if they go the quiet route and they do what they done with Xbox, that's when I'd start genuinely worrying. So this is one to watch closely over for the next couple of days, and I'll keep you posted as well. Now one more thing before we go on to the numbers, and this is a really nice story. A lot of the old, more established COD YouTubers, the ones that we grew up watching, are starting to come back because of these ports, and it's absolutely amazing. The creators who normally lean pretty negative on Call of Duty have been posting more positive videos this week, and several people have teased that they're making a return to content after being quiet for ages. That is a real feeling, like right now, that this launch has pulled people back into this game who haven't touched COD in years. Now, whatever you think about these technical issues, this part of the story is just so heartwarming, and it's the kind of thing that keeps the whole thing alive long term. So I encourage those who haven't made COD content in a long while, come back to us. Okay, so let's talk about these stats, because this is where it gets proper wild. According to Charlie Intel, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 on the PlayStation alone, on PS5 alone, had more players than on Black Ops 7 combined across every platform. I'm talking PS5, Xbox, PC, all of those. Bear in mind that the ports are just on PS4 and PS5, and they are beating a brand new game that is available everywhere. On top of that, Black Ops 2 peaked as the #1 game on Twitch with over 106,000 concurrent viewers, and then it dipped to about 82,000 the next day. But that is still enormous for a 13-year-old game. And apparently the launch hype was so big it actually took PSN down for a bit. Think about that. A port of 2 old games caused login issues on the entire PlayStation network. There is also an unconfirmed rumor floating around that these ports had well over 400,000 people online at once. Now I can't back that up properly, and nobody really can, but given that they were briefly outranking the GTA 6 pre-orders, it wouldn't shock me if those numbers were somewhere close to true. Now, is this gonna last forever? Probably not, but even a temporary spike like this beating a brand new $700 million title of MW4 and just topping over the GTA 6 hype, that is a community screaming that we have what we always wanted. Now here is one of the biggest issues that I have seen online, and it's to do mainly with Black Ops 1 but a little bit of Black Ops 2. So me personally, I feel like my aim felt weird and my bullets were not landing where I was actually shooting. And I've seen a lot of people complaining about it too, but it turns out there is a real explanation for that. So apparently all of the snipers on the Black Ops 1 game are behaving like they did at the very original launch of Black Ops 1, which was back in 2010 before the patch that was in December. And this patch that was in December did fix the sway and the aim assist on them. But basically back then, they nerfed quickscoping so hard that it accidentally broke the entire sniping class. Then they patched it properly a few months later, and it looks like the ports have somehow reverted back to that same broken pre-patch state. So if you felt like your shots aren't registering properly, especially on snipers on Black Ops 1, that might not be you doing anything wrong. Although it could be because you suck at the game. And it's kind of wild if it's true, but hopefully there's an easy fix for it. And since they've literally solved every problem so far, I have hope. Okay, so away from the news now, my actual experience. I've had about 10 hours of in-game time since the launch. It's mostly been multiplayer, mostly domination and team deathmatch, playing solo, but I also played a little bit of Black Ops 1 Zombies with some of my mates, which I'm going to get onto. But genuinely, I enjoyed multiplayer more than I expected after everything from my first review. The emblems are back, which is just amazing. I'm so happy that they kept them. And this community will always find a way to make a good emblem, as we obviously know. It just feels like 2012 again, and I love it. But I've got to be honest about a couple things. The stuttering is real, and it's not occasional. It happens pretty much as soon as I load in. Every couple of seconds on every map, doesn't matter what game mode I'm playing, I just stutter. And it's not my internet, because a lot of us have been experiencing the same thing. But I wonder if they could do something to fix this. Now, secondly, about the aim thing. My bullets don't seem to land when I'm aiming, and that is consistent enough that I don't think it is just me having an off day. Now, it could be that I suck at the game, but I kind of doubt that. And the reason is, I went onto my Xbox to play this on the backwards compatible version, and my aim felt absolutely fine. Same sends, all of that stuff was all the same. And my bullets just actually seemed to hit compared to the new ports. But moving on from that, I tried the new PS4 version because that was the recommendation to see if it ran better. And honestly, I didn't notice much difference on my end. Now, it might be different for some of you depending on your setup, but for me, the stutters were the same. Although on Zombies, this was the best part of my whole week. I played Kino, it was great. Zero issues, none of that stuttering, none of that weirdness from multiplayer carried over. Just proper classic Zombies, exactly how I remembered it. Now, if the rest of the game felt as solid as Zombies has, I honestly don't think I would have half the complaints I've made across these videos. Now, a quick one on the guns and maps, since a lot of you have asked. The best gun for me by a mile is the MSMC. That gun just absolutely melts. Exactly like back in the day. Now I've got a full class setup video coming out for the MSMC, as well as a video of my top 5 guns, so subscribe if you would like to see that. Now here is something I think is a genuinely underrated reason as to why this launch landed so well, and I don't think enough of us are speaking about it. Everyone's on the same playing field right now, same FOV, same settings, no PC players with no weird audio mods giving them footstep advantage, no streamer setups with an unfair edge. We are all dealing with the same stutters, same input lag, same bad hosts together. There is something almost refreshing about that, and on the hacking front, so far it's genuinely not too bad. There are some unlock tools that sellers are doing and people selling services that instantly get you every gun and every prestige, but why would you even bother doing that? The whole point of this game is nostalgia, right? So why wouldn't you grind through the whole game yourself? It's kind of sad if you're doing that, to be honest, and you're supporting these guys, but hey, you do you. Now I don't know about you, but I would much prefer having someone get an unlock all with all the procedures, all the guns, all of that stuff, without all the wall hacking and aimbot that we could get on the previous consoles. Now I want to zoom out for a second, okay, because the more that I read about this launch, the more that I think that it's genuinely bigger than just 2 old games coming back. A lot of people, including myself at this point, are saying Activision are sitting on an absolute gold mine here. We've got COD 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, even the original COD 2. All of that could get ported the exact same way, and based on these numbers, all of it would probably sell. I don't know how they don't seriously consider that. And I'm going to be real, Xbox deserves some of that love too. Right now, the Xbox backwards compatible versions of these games are still running on an old infrastructure, and reportedly, they are still dealing with the hackers in the way that PlayStation currently aren't. So if PS gets the new clean updated versions, Xbox players who have been loyal to this era of COD, they kind of deserve the same treatment, and maybe even proper crossplay between the two eventually. Now there is a whole genuine argument that this should shift how Modern Warfare 4 gets built. Now a lot of people who have gone back to the classic movement this week are saying that they might just stay here instead of jumping to something faster paced in October. And obviously, if Treyarch's classic playlist experiment in BO7 already proved that people want this, MW4 launching with a proper classic mode from day one feels like a no-brainer now. So just put it all together. The matchmaking fixes are real and they matter. The numbers this week have been genuinely historic for a port of old games. Zombies has been absolutely brilliant. The core of this game, the guns, the maps, all of it still hold up perfectly. But the stuttering, unfortunately, is still there. The sniper issues are still there. And the lobbies are still not backfilling properly. Now, this is not nostalgia talking. These games are just fundamentally better in a lot of ways than what we've had in years. And this week has proven that it's not just me saying that. But the port itself still needs a little bit of work, the stuttering, the snapper bug, all of that stuff, and as well as the exploit on the Black Ops 1 game. So all of that needs sorting, and I can't call it flawless yet, but honestly, if these all get fixed, this could be a flawless port. And so far, they've been fixing the matchmaking, fixing all of these things, so I'm really, really hopeful that they'll get it done ASAP. And if you've got this far into the video, honestly, I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you supporting this channel. Now, if you haven't seen already, but I have a 1.3% subscriber to viewer ratio, meaning only 1.3% of you guys are subscribed to this channel. If you would like to change that number from 1% up to maybe 2, that would be great, and I would appreciate it. So please subscribe to the channel. And also, for those that are subbed, please drop a comment down below. What kind of videos would you like to see next? I'm all for it. Anything you want. Class setup videos, informational videos, just drop it down below for me. And one last thing, and you cannot forget this, and do not forget this. Jesus is king. He is the one and only savior. So repent and believe in the gospel. I will see you in the next one.